Hello world, and we're back. My name is Kyle Fischl. This is going to be episode 23 of my poker vlog, and I decided to film it this time from my house, take a second, gather my thoughts, and do a little bit of research to look into some of these hands. You know, had to get out of the car, decided that it'd be time to film from the house for once.
In this house?
Well, yes.
In this house?
No, this house is a shithole.
But anyway, I'm going to go over two hands. For the first one, my opponent in this hand is very, very spewy. He's thrown in a lot of money into the pot and not been able to beat second pair. I've seen it a few times. And he looks like he's on tilt. Not playing, let's say, optimally. But he's spewy and aggressive and clearly tilting. So that's how I'm going to justify what I did. Anyway, so one limper to me. I have ace king of clubs. I raised it up to 25, just standard raise. Hope to flop an ace or a king or some clubs and take it from there. Well, the button, the big blind, and the limper call. The flop is ace, jack, 7, 2 spades. It's check to me. I do a standard 35. Maybe that's a little low, but you know, I'm not too scared about anything on this board. It's pretty unconnected. Even though there's a flush draw, there's the ace of spades in there, so not really too worried about it. Well, the button folds. The big blind is the player I described. He instantly grabs 4 green chips and just flings them in there, like $100, and the early position limper folds. Now it's on to me. Because of how spewy this player is, I absolutely have no thought at all that I'm beat at this point. The hand directly before this, he lost a huge pot, so it looks very spewy, very tilty. It doesn't look like he has anything. So instead of calling and letting him, you know, blast off and possibly being put in a difficult decision if another spade comes, I decided that I need to take control of the betting lead here, and I choose to raise it up to 210.
Doing this. Why not?
And to my surprise, he instantly shoves all in for it was 175 more, so I guess 385. And you know, when it was that instant, I really had to think about it. Like, even though he's spewy, the $100 raise, so I can see him doing that with 8, 9 of spades, king, queen of spades. You know, gut shot plus spades made a lot of sense. I probably would have called if the ace was not of spades, because if the ace isn't of spades, then I'm still ahead of ace x of spades, pair plus flush draw. And because the jack is the one that's not of spades, I don't see him doing 10 jack of spades, jack queen of spades. And because now that I've taken out all of his gut shots, don't think he has a flush draw, it's very unconnected. He's pretty weighted towards nutted hands, and the only hand that's screaming in my head at that point is pocket sevens, because made sense, flopped a set, check raised, and then got it all in. And against pocket sevens, I'm pretty dead. So I show my cards folding, you know, for only 175 more on that $600 pot, and he shows jack 7 offsuit. Kind of unhappy because when I ran the math, I have 27% equity in the hand. I thought I was making a disciplined fold. Either way, I'm not too unhappy about it. You know, don't really want to get it in with 20%. I guess I found out where I was at with that raise, and we'll move on to the next hand. So the final hand I'm going to go over for this video, I thought it was kind of interesting because, you know, if you follow my recent vlogs, I've been running kind of bad. And there's been a lot of nonsense like jack 7 staying in and getting 2 pair. Like, it's just crap. For this hand, similar to last hand in its dynamics, there's one limper to me, and I have pocket 8s, 2 black 8s. And I choose to raise to 25 again, standard. It's how I balance my range. I have both over cards that are huge with this raise size, and I also have, you know, standard pocket pairs. So I choose this raise size specifically because I would do the same thing with ace king. So the flop is ace high, I can continue as if I have an ace, even when I have pocket eights at this particular time. And, you know, vice versa. Or if it's all small cards sometimes, then I could theoretically have eights, nines, tens, anything. Like, keep my range balanced, keep it open, you know, keep it standard. Well, there are two callers. One is how I would describe a very, very weak player. He's done several questionable moves and questionable calls and all that kind of thing. And the other player is the opponent from the last hand, and he is in the small blind. The weak player's on the button, I'm in middle position, limper folds. So 3 ways to a flop, which comes 9-6-5 rainbow. Now that is a pretty good flop for pocket eights. Not for the obvious gut shot, but there's only one overcard, and it's a 9. It's kind of unlikely someone should have a 9, and I can get value from any 2 overcards that just want to call a street, because that happens a lot at 2-5 games, especially in Orange City. People will just peel 1 to try to outplay on later
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
streets. I'm going to combat that by theoretically betting 3 streets of value, you know, if the run out is the way I'd like it to be. So I bet $35 and they both call. The turn is a 7 from heaven, a miracle 7, or a 7 of spades, 2 spades, but wow, we actually got there one time. So I want to bet smaller here because I want 2 callers twice now that I somehow have a straight. And whatever they called with, you know, straight draw, pair plus straight draw, like maybe they had 6-7, now they have 2 pairs, something like that. I want to keep all of them in there. So I bet $50, and the very, very weak player nearly instantly raises to 135. And then the small blind calls the 135. And at that point, I actually think it's possible that we all have an 8. Because I have 2. 1, 1, 4. I'm like, does everyone have an 8? I don't really know, but I'm never going to fold to this. So I'm going to call and hope for once I don't hit a spade or just disgusting card on the, or an 8 would be pretty disgusting too. Just I'm hoping for a non-disgusting card on the river. And it comes an offsuit deuce. So we get a brick one time when we want a brick. And small blind checks. I decided to check to the razor because I'm quite perplexed. I don't really know what he has, and I think it's very possible that he has exactly 8-10 because he's had some questionable hands like that in the past. And he bets 175. Small blind folds, and it's on to me. Never really folding here, but I am thinking about raising him all in. He only has about 125 behind, so if I raise, he's calling regardless. But now I'm just deciding if I think I'm good here. He called 1 street and raised into 2 people. I don't really see a hand that I'm outright beating. I think that a lot of his hands like 9-8, 6-8, and 8-10 are going to play this way. I don't really see a hand that does not include an 8. I guess pocket 7s maybe. But to call and then raise 2 people and to finish it off on the river, and because, like I said, he's weak, he plays weak hands like that, so he's not really overvaluing aces, kings, or any overpair. I don't think I can raise here because I think if I raise, I'm more often getting called by exactly 8-10 than any kind of odd 2-pair or set type hand. I think that I'm chopping a lot of the time. So that was why I chose to call at the time, and he showed 9-7. And that was also offsuit. So yeah, that whole how I said he's weak, yeah, he called a 9-7 offsuit. And then, you know, in the early portion of the hand where I was like, this is a great flop. No one should have a 9. Someone did have a 9. What the hell? So, kind of a mistake, I guess, especially because he only had like 125 to 150, somewhere in that range of chips left. That is just a jam and hope he doesn't have an 8 or 8-10. But we'll just make a note of that and keep it in our memory bank for the future. Well, if you watched all the way to this part in the video, thank you for watching. I hope you find these videos entertaining, funny, you know, maybe even helpful to some people. I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, like it, share it, talk about it. I'll be at Orange City Poker Room this Friday night if you want to come see me. Thank you.